Okay, good morning, guys. How are you doing today? It's a pleasure having you here. Linda Asifo, you're welcome. Solomon Musa, you're welcome. Stephen Ojo, you're welcome. Casey, you're welcome. But Casey won't be able to hear us as the audio isn't turned on. So let me just get that out of the way. And while I do a bit of chit chat, if you can hear me, do let us know if it is loud and clear. If you can hear me, do let us know if it's loud and clear. So I'm going to wait for your feedback on that. Okay, so I just typed out, kindly enable your audio. Sorry, I missed the audio. Your audio, let's just put the audio, your audio via Zoom. Okay, thank you. I can see Linda said loud and clear. Solomon also said clear. Thank you, guys. So now we can proceed with today's live market analysis session, live trading session. And we're going to continue from where we stopped yesterday, where we're looking at a few instruments, and I hope that we took note of those instruments, right? Because we are supposed to more or less be trading together and then see how we can make pips together. I repeat, we are supposed to be trading together and then see how we can make pips together. Very, very key, very, very important, right? So, okay, beautiful. I see more people are just joining us as well, right? So please always take note of what we discuss. Use that as a like a foundation or as a basis for your trading for that very day, right? And also on the Telegram groups, we'll be dropping the charts, different charts for us to be able to follow up with and then see how we place trades, right? Now, we always say it's not just about the training, but it's about the implementation. A lot of us have attended different trainings here and there. We have not been training, we have not been trading. That means that we have not been implementing, we have not been executing appropriately. So we need to ensure that we do the needful. As usual, guys, for those that haven't done this yet, a quick one, please kindly ensure, how can I join the Telegram group? Okay, I'm going to get the link now as we continue to talk. But for those that are yet to follow us on the social media handles, please kindly do that by following us on all the social media handles. That's on Telegram, on Instagram, on Facebook, and all. Right. So first, I'm going to drop the link for the Telegram so that you guys can join. Right. This is the link over here. So that is the link for the Telegram group. Excuse me. You guys can join. And then also kindly note that there is another Telegram group where we drop more or less like trade analysis signals as well, right? So that one too, if you're going to join that, right, I can see we have a Mr. Victor that just joined now. I want to believe that Mr. Victor is here with us. Probably it's Mr. Victor Elisha that is here, which is good. So guys, if you haven't joined, kindly join now. And as Mr. Victor has done the needful now, I'm also going to be dropping the social media handles for you to also follow us now, please, right? Follow us on all of them. I'm going to drop all of them, including the YouTube now. So once you follow us, right, try to like and comment on the videos. So these are the social media handles here. As you can see, I just did a copy and paste for you to see. So you have the Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And then this is the YouTube for you. YouTube is very, very important. So please ensure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and then also like the videos, watch the videos, of course, like the videos and all, because our recordings on a daily basis will be posted there. So this is the YouTube link for you. So kindly do the needful. And then also don't forget, kindly share this link that you used to join us. Share it on your WhatsApp status, on your Instagram, on your Telegram, on your Facebook. Share it everywhere that we can have a lot of people join us to take advantage of this information that we have for you. Right, so don't forget, we said it is the live market analysis, and the major thing we need to be doing is to be looking at the charts. But before we dive into the charts, remember our procedure. We need to always ensure that we do something, that we check our calendar. I repeat, we should always check our calendar. This is something that is very, very important. I'm going to switch back to this slide. As yesterday we talked about this. We talk about this every day because it's meant to be a daily, regular routine. As an example, when you wake up, what do? A regular routine is that shortly after you brush your teeth, shortly after you probably have your bath, have your breakfast, and so on. So it should be something that you should now be used to. That is checking the upcoming news, because the news can, bring a lot of volatility, fresh, heavy volatility to the market, and we don't want to be caught off guard. We don't want to be caught on the wrong side. So please, if you haven't written this down, please write it down. I'm going to switch back to the charts now. We need to focus more on the charts, right? And then look for opportunities. I repeat, we need to look for opportunities today. So at any point, you can also drop your charts, meaning that you can drop the instruments and the time frame, and we'll do analysis together, because I'm sure you are also looking at one instrument or the other. You want to trade it later today or whatever the case might be. Drop it also, and then we'll do analysis on it together. So please don't forget, write this down. I'm going to switch back to the charts this time around, that we look at the trades or the trade opportunities from yesterday and see how they developed further. Now, this is the Euro USD, so we're going to quickly talk about this Euro USD. I'll just talk about a lot, as many instruments as possible today, so that we can see what we can take advantage of. This is the Euro USD. You can see here we have support, and then we have some support over here. Look over here, so we have support. Look at everything that's happening here, support. I hope you can see. Sorry, I was about to speak wrong English. I want to believe you can see what we're mapping out on the chart. If you can't see it, let us know, and then we'll try and look for a solution together, right? As a matter of fact, you are all here because you are looking for a solution. We're all looking for a solution in order to improve on our trading, right? So as you can see all these levels here, yesterday, if you remember correctly from this Euro USD H1 1 hour time frame, 1 hour time frame means that every candle you see here is lasting for one hour. Now, we were expecting this area here to act as resistance. If you remember, we talked about it yesterday based on our support and resistance trading. If you're not conversant with support and resistance, you can join the workshop that will be ongoing later in the afternoon, evening period, and that will be taken by Mr. Toby Okunoga. I repeat, that will be taken by Mr. Toby Okunoga. You can join him for that beginners workshop where he will talk about all of this and more, right? So we're supposed to look for entries over here on the resistance from yesterday, but look at what happened. It broke out and went to the upside. Now, this is what we should be looking out for as a form of follow-up. You're looking at the price coming back to this point and then pushing higher to this area that has acted as what? That has acted as support and resistance before. Here is support, here is resistance. It didn't quite get there here, but the intentions, of course, are clear, right? So why did we say that the market could as well come back down to this place before pushing higher? Why did we say that? Now, there's something that normally happens to price. I don't know whether you guys have asked yourself these questions, or this question rather, that what happens, I repeat, what happens to an area whenever price breaks that area? Let me give you an example. Now, this here is on top here, I'm going to just write S for support. And you can see the price tends to bounce off the support over here. So the question now is, what happens when the price breaks this support to the downside? When it breaks support to the downside, the other side over here becomes the opposite. It becomes the resistance. And that means that we're expecting on a pullback, price to react to this area and act as resistance in order to drop further down. And that's what we have over here. This was the area of resistance. Below here was the resistance. Above here was the support. And then when it broke out to the upside, what I would like to see, and this is definitely an opportunity for today, I would like to see the price come back to this point here, give us an entry, and then we push higher, right? That's what I would like to see. I like to see price come back to this area here, and then act as support where we enter the market to buy, and then it pushes higher to this point here, and then we can most likely take out our position for profit at the end of the day. This is Euro USD. There are a lot of instruments, by the way, Now, something normally happens during trading. We normally tend to have a lot of instruments that will be on the radar, but it does not mean necessarily that we are going to find opportunities on those instruments on the radar, right? Because anything can happen during the day. I repeat, anything can happen during the day. And if you remember correctly, right? If you remember correctly, we said something very, very important. We said always check the calendar. Always check the calendar. I'm going to clean up this chart and we're going to go back to the Forex Factory and check the calendar for today. Don't forget, guys, kindly follow us on those handles, those social media handles for 10Trade on the Instagram, on the Facebook, Twitter, and of course on YouTube as well for 10Trade Africa TV. And you can see it. If you scroll up, you will see it over there. So you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow by turning on the notification. So once a video is dropped, like the recording of this live market analysis session, once it is dropped, you can quickly go back and watch it as a form of refresher, right? So now let's look at the calendar. We're going to look at the calendar for today. And if you look very well, this here is what? Today is February 14, right? I don't know whether you guys were waiting for me to greet you Happy Valentine. I'm not sure whether, because I don't believe not everybody celebrates Valentine, but all the same, Happy Valentine to everybody here, especially our ladies here, right? So now that we've gotten that out of the way, because you might as well be saying, Mr. Tolu, don't you celebrate Valentine? You are not greeting us Valentine, right? So now this is it. You can see Tuesday, February 14, right? And then the next news we have is coming out at 2:30 p.m. This one was 3 a.m. This one was 8 a.m. Our time now is about 9:17 a.m. So at 2:30 p.m., look at this, guys. I'm going to explain to you this news because a lot of traders have lost a lot of money because of news. I'm sure some of us are guilty. If you are here and you have lost a lot of money based on news, you can also kindly signify as well, right? It will help us to know maybe some of the issues that you have been having, right? And then we can see how we can assist you further. I'm not saying that it is not doable, but it is very, very dangerous. Trading the news period carries a high level of volatility, right? Especially when the news, as you can see, this one coming out at 2:30 p.m. for the USD, it is high impact and it is known as the CPI. The same 2:30, we have another news here known for the CPI as well, and then also USD, also known for the core CPI. The CPI stands for the Consumer Price Index, right? And this is something that is very, very important. We need to understand, right? Because the volatility, let me explain this to you for those that might not have encountered a CPI news before. CPI news or any high impact news based on the coloring here, red, they are usually very high. Of course, some of them are higher than the others, right? For the CPI, this is a key economic indicator, right? In order for us to know how the economy, right, of the US is faring at the moment, right? If I remember correctly, I think it was August or September when we had a CPI. When it came out, it more or less, it ripped a hole in the market. A lot of traders had losses, a lot of traders had loan account during that period. And of course, we don't want that from you. Please, 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 always ensure that you pay attention to what we're talking about and you also practice everything, right? Because the truth now, as we always say, the real results, as I said, the real result that you are expecting will most likely come from your practice at the end of the day. If you don't practice, then the result you are getting is not the real one. You'll be having more of losses. So your real result will come once you've gone through the practicals, you practice, you paid attention to what we're talking about, right? So please, it's not about coming. Make sure your demo or your live accounts are ready to go. And then, of course, you understand exactly what we are talking about here. So if you look very well, this is the next news for 2:30 p.m. And I was about to say, I believe it was August last year when that news came out. As the news came out, the whole market just went berserk. I don't know what happened, but because of the volatility, right? A lot of traders lost money. A lot of traders blew their account during that period. I don't know whether anybody here can remember whether you've been trading as far back as the August, right? There was a particular news for the CPI, and it was very, very high impact at the end of the day, right? So good. Now, if you have any questions so far, so good, feel free to ask. This remaining news over here is for Wednesday, that is tomorrow, and you have 2 a.m., 8 a.m. to 30 p.m. and so on, all the way down to Friday, the end of the week, and so on. So this is just a quick interpretation. I repeat, this is just a quick interpretation or a look into the news. If it's the interpretation, we always say based on the actual, because you work with the actual, based on the actual, you can see the color here is green, which means buy. Color here is green. This is black. Black means neutral. This is green, and then green means buy. So if we have red, right, anywhere we have red, red will be what? Red will be selling at the end of the day, right? So this is what we have here based on the Forex Factory, right? So if you have any questions based on this, feel free to ask, and then we'll see how we can assist you further, and then we take it off from there. Don't forget, you are all supposed to be trading. If I were to ask you why you're here, your number one answer is, oh, Mr. Tulu, of course, you should already know that I'm here to make money. Simple. We are all here to make money, but it is how we go about that process that is very, very important. And if I were to say, do you want to make money? Of course, your answers will be what? Your answers will be yes. So if you have any question, feel free to ask as we will proceeding now, right? We're going to proceed now as we cannot determine whether this is a sell or a buy because we don't have any outcome yet for these guys here. This is until 2:30. Then that means that we need to trade with caution. Do not rush into the market. Do not be in a haste to place trades. We normally tell traders today that the best trades are those ones that you are not expecting, are those ones that jump at you, right? You know, most times traders tend to go and look for opportunities. You're rushing into the market to look for opportunities, but no, truth be told, trading should be a thing of you exercise a lot of patience, you wait for the market to come to you. I repeat, you wait for the market to come to you. And once the market comes to you, what do you now do? You simply take advantage. I repeat, you simply take advantage, right? So for this one that we have here, as you can see, the EURUSD is either a case of price depreciating to this point here, then that becomes, if you look very well, going from the back, this is support, I had a little resistance here, but this point now becomes a flip zone more or less. We're looking for buy positions around here to take it higher, right? So this is what we're going to be doing here, and this is still the EURUSD. So let's quickly move on to other instruments and see what we can make out of them. Great. Now I like this one a lot. Let me show you guys something on this one, right? Now look at it clearly. We talked about this yesterday. This is support and this is resistance. And then I believe yesterday price had not gotten to this area where it was or where it is now, right? So all of this have happened after our meeting yesterday, right? Now look at this clearly. I want to show you guys something over here. Let me just clean up this chart, right? Clean up the chart and then show you guys something very well. Now, if you look very well, I'm just zooming in, zooming out, just to have a better feel of the market. Here, support, here, resistance. Now, look at this. Price has not gotten to this point very well, but then it formed what we call a price action candlestick pattern that we can easily use to place trades. I repeat, this has now formed a price action candlestick pattern that we can now easily use to jump into the market. I tell traders, look, no, it's not about the candle formation, but rather it's about where that candle forms. And this is not the right place. This is more or less the right candle, but it is not at the right place. That means that my analysis will be over here as we're shading, right? And not where the market is presently here, right? And you can see the next candle here seems to be pushing higher, right? So this is where the battle is going to be taking place between the buyers and the sellers. Well, we're expecting that the sellers should have an upper hand to this, But don't forget the news coming out that is around the corner by 2:30 p.m. And those are the news for the CPI. Please ensure that you understand what's happening based on the CPI, as the volatility is usually very, very high. And this is the time when I might as well be on the sidelines, right? So don't forget, you are also keeping track of the news that should be dropping within 2:30, right? So that means that's about 5 hours from now. So one thing we need to always ensure, I repeat, one thing we always need to ensure is that we wait for the area, you properly wait for the area of interest to be hit, right? So either you call it the area, or you call it the level, or you call it the zone, or whatever the case may be. So this one here is where we're going to be waiting, and not this one here that is more or less in between, right? So these are things that traders usually look out for before jumping into trades. This is the Kiwi. And you can see the Kiwi here. I'm going to show you something as well, right? The Kiwi here, if you look very well, has acted as support, right? So as we're having all of this here, and you can see where the price is presently, we can as well say that the price wants to drop down to this point of support before pushing higher, right? That's what it looks like, right? Because if you look closely, based on this NZD USD, which has to do with the dollar, and the news for the dollar is coming out soon, you could easily have, from where it is, you could easily have one big candle that pushes all the way down, and then that same candle pushes all the way up, and then even swallows this one as well, right? So from what we're talking about here, this is the area of interest if you want to be buying, and this is the area of interest here if you want to be selling on this particular chart. Okay, Zacchaeus said, please come again, sir. Which area do you want me to come again? Is it for this analysis on NZD USD? If yes, then I'll quickly breeze through that and then show you again what we just discussed. So now on this NZD USD, of course, we all can see the trend is down, but that's not what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on where the price is now and what we want to do, right? If you look over here, we have support, some areas of support here. As you can see, support showing that there was some buying pressure back there. So that means that as we have the price at this point here for NZD USD, right, coming down to this point here and then placing your trigger for entry over here, and then you want the market push higher, right? This is what we do based on analysis. But don't forget, you also check the fundamentals based on news, based on every other aspect of the fundamentals, based on news, scheduled news, breaking news, and so on, right? So if the market continues to move sideways before the news comes out, just expect that it shall be a breakout, and then it could either hit here or it could hit this level, right? Whatever the case might be, we need to be reaction traders. We are not action traders. We are reaction traders. An action trader is one, right, that will try to, preempt the market move. I repeat, an action trader is one that will try to preempt the market move. But meanwhile, a reaction, as the name implies, reaction trader will wait for that action to take place and then will react to it after. Well, meanwhile, the other type of trader will try to do what? Will try to create that action. So for this NZD USD, this is here where we would like to see an entry here for buy, and it goes higher. This is also an opportunity for sell either way. So we've already talked about all these areas here, support, as you can see, right? And I can see Zacchaeus said we should come again for the GBP USD. So this is the NZD USD. Well, let's quickly flip back to the GBP USD. Let's look at it, right? Probably he's trading the GBP USD. But quickly now, the GBP USD, if you look very well in the past, this acted as support, this acted as resistance. And looking at this here, you can see we have already drawn our horizontal support and resistance lines that is helping us to much better pinpoint the areas of interest. It's helping us to much better pinpoint the area of interest. So we have support here, support here. You can see we have a little resistance here, some things here. You can see we also have something here as well as support. So now looking at what we have over here, you have been able to highlight the next level above the current price. This current price here in gray. You have been able to identify the next level above and next level below. So that means that it's like you are pricing, you are trapping the price, right? It means that you are like trapping price, which simply means that price could either go to this point here or price could go to this point here. You just need to know and understand how you are going to be entering whenever price gets to the upper part or to the lower part. If you remember, sometime last week, we showed you the price action candlesticks. If you are here and you haven't seen them, let me know. We can quickly flip back to the slides and then show you the price action, the key price action candlesticks for your own learning purposes, right? So it will help you to know where to enter the market the proper way. Okay, Mr. Zacchaeus, I hope that is okay for the GBP/USD. We just looked at the GBP/USD. I want us to just continue. And guys, if you have any instrument of choice that you want us, TenTrade, to look at, please signify as well. We looked at the NZD/USD now, then now we're looking at the AUD/USD. The AUD/USD, first thing that jumps at me, at us, is support here. You can see some little things happening here on a resistance, here resistance, resistance. This was a big breach, but it still acted accordingly, right, and dropped down. Now price is almost at this area, almost, right? I'm saying almost because it hasn't gotten there, right? You can see price is presently at this point here. You can see that there is a battle on this AUD/USD before price gets to this point here. So the battle that is here, majorly it is the news. I repeat, majorly it is the news outcome that will determine whether it's going to break out to the upside, whether it's going to drop down to the lower side, right? And this is the AUD/USD. Stephen, Joseph, please, can we briefly go through the price action candlesticks? Okay, thank you. I always like it when we ask, because at times a lot of us might be here, might not see anything. If you don't see anything, then TenTrade would assume that you know it all, right? But at the end of the day, some traders will still come and they say that they crashed their account, they had major losses and so on. So we need to be sure that we're together here. Okay, I can see the comments coming in. I'm going to answer them one after the other. I can see from Stephen, Zacchaeus, and then okay, Zacchaeus also just typed the same thing again. So let me quickly read these questions quickly now before we move on. Stephen just said, please, can we briefly go through the price action candlesticks? Okay, no problem. We'll go through that now. Let me clean up this chart, right? Clean it up, because this is where we're looking out for something. And then once you find that thing, and that thing happens to be the price action candlesticks now, that we're going to be switching the slides over to. So let's do that now and see the major price action candles that we are interested in and using on a day-to-day basis, right? So these are the candlesticks. So please, you can do a screenshot or you can draw them. I'm just going to quickly explain them accordingly from left to right. This is known as the bearish pin. Bearish pin. You need to break these words down for you to understand better. Bearish simply means down, right? Which means a sell. Bearish means down. And then pin. Pin is short for pin bar. Pin bar, P-I-N, then bar, B-A-R, which is also known as a hammer. Because if you look at this candle, this is the candle in question. If you look at this candle, sorry, my hand is not straight. Look at this candle. I see it is bearish, meaning that it's signaling you that the next move should be to the downside, right? The same thing for bullish pin. Bullish means up. When something is bullish, it is up. And then that means what? You're expecting the price to go higher from this point here, because the bullish pin bar, the candle formation, right, is very key, very, very important. And that's what we're going to be using as a form of entry. Bullish engulfing as the name implies, bullish is for buying, engulfing means swallowing or to encompass. You can see the second candle that we have over here, the second candle in green, because it is bullish. Bullish means up. You can see the second candle that we have here, bullish, and the next in the price is what? The price is pushing higher and higher and higher at the end of the day, based on it being bullish engulfing. And of course, the opposite, bearish engulfing, after this has formed, where the second candle, it swallows the first one, you can easily say, yes, indeed, we can use this for selling opportunities at the area of interest. At the area, it has to be at the area of interest. When you want to sell, you want to sell at the resistance. You must ensure that price has gotten to the resistance, and then hopefully gives us this price action candlestick patterns, candlestick formations that we can easily be using in our trading. So this will also obviously help you to ensure that your trading is well organized and so on. And it is you are the one that will be able to do this at the end of the day. So these are the price action candlestick patterns that we have just mentioned now, and then we can cross back to the trading application. We can look at a few more instruments, and then also if you have any instrument of choice, do let me know. I believe I'm answering questions. If I haven't answered any question and I've scrolled past it, it's by mistake. You can please retype it, and then I'll look at it, and then we'll discuss it. All right, so Steven said earlier, please can we briefly go through the price action candlesticks? Okay, that's what we just did. As Zakio said, the news is showing buy for the GBP USD. How is the news showing buy for the GBP USD? Okay, but the news has not dropped yet for the USD. So which news? You said news. News has to be fundamental. You said news is showing buy from the GBP USD, right? And then you said, what are we doing if the price gets to the resistance line? Okay, you are talking about the news on the GBP USD. So let me switch over to GBP USD here. And then you said something. You said, what are we doing if the price gets to the resistance? Let me scroll back up. I think I must have missed that. I was reading something now. Okay, sorry, I've seen it. Yes. The news is showing buy for the GBP/USD. What are we doing if the price gets to the resistance level? What are we doing? We are not doing anything now. It's until price gets to this resistance level, which is this. As you can see, this is the resistance level. This is when price gets to this point, when it pushes higher, it should give us that candlestick pattern, that price action candlestick formation that we just looked at, that would help us to place the trade over here to sell, and then hopefully we watch it go down. To this point here, we could even go down some more to the lows of the lows. That is over here. This lows that we can see on this chart, GBP USD 1 hour, right? So this is what we have over here. As you can see, this is what we have over here based on the GBP USD. And it seems a lot of people are, referring back to the GBP USD, most likely because GBP USD is one of the most traded currency pairs out there in the world. I want to believe it should be number 2, especially after the Euro USD. So whether it's Euro USD or it's Pound USD, no worries, it's good to go. Okay, then Zakio said for the GBP, okay, that's what we've just done. We've just done for the GBP. Zakio said price action candlestick. Yeah, we just did that as well. I'm just scrolling through your comments. So I'm just seeing your comments for the first time. So obviously we've done all of this as well. Okay. Michael Ahong said, please can you help me with how to trade news? How to trade news? Please, everybody pay attention to this. We do not trade. We, when I say we, myself, and also TenTrade, right? I know for a fact that the country director, right, of TenTrade is not a news trader. I stand to be corrected though, but I want to believe he's not a news trader. Why? Because news trading is very, very dangerous. I repeat, news trading is very, very dangerous because a lot of things normally happen when news breaks, right? Like this one now, as it is, you just have a big, massive candle, something like this. You can see this one I've drawn is even smaller than this one over here. Oops, didn't draw that well. It's even smaller than this over here, this candle. But it's very possible for us to have a big candle that will slice out of this place, right? So it's all about ensuring that you pay attention to it, but then once it is, close or prior to the news time, do not trade that. So for the person that said, and that's coming from Michael Ahong, that said, can we help you with how to trade the news? I can tell you what to look out for. I repeat, I can tell you what to look out for because it is more or less the same thing with even this time frame 1 hour and all. It's more or less the same thing, but right, because of yeah, so as we are saying, it is more or less the same thing, right? It is more or less the same thing. So we're just looking for our price action candlestick at this pattern here, right? So please do not trade in news directly. It is very, very dangerous. It carries a high level of risk. And that's why if you're trading from the lower time frames, especially during news period, a lot of losses tend to occur because the trading during the lower time frames, or rather trading using the lower time frames, that trader most likely will not be using stop loss. Maybe as a scalper, will not be using stop loss and so on. So we need to be what? We need to be very, very careful how we look at the market at the end of the day. So please, Michael Ahong, I do not trade the news directly, as I said. I know the country director of 1032 doesn't trade the news directly. So please do not say you want to trade the news. The news is very, very dangerous. It could work in your favor very well, and you make plenty of money fast. But what about when it goes against you? Before you know it, it can really go against you and eat into your entire account. The only thing that we normally do when it comes to news is because now, listen to this, everybody. When it comes to the news, we know for a fact that the news is it carries a high level of volatility in the markets, right? The news carries a high level of volatility in the market, and that is why we need to ensure that we are trading carefully. We're trading very, very carefully, because if you are trading from lower time frame and the news breaks, the volatility can easily cause a lot of other things as well. The likes of the spread to increase, which is normal. Could also have slippage. Slippage is something, trust me, and trust me, trust us. The news coming out by 2:30 p.m. most likely is going to be a massive one, which has to do with the CPI, right? Because based on track record, based on last year, the CPI data was always very, very want to be mindful of, right? So Michael Ahong, I'm not trying to tell you not to trade the news, but there's a way to look at it. You can use the news in collaboration with your normal technical. The news has to do with fundamentals. I repeat, the news has to do with fundamentals, where fundamentals has to do with the scheduled news or the breaking news, the scheduled news or the breaking news. So you're going to be combining the fundamentals with the technicals, which is what's very, very key, very, very important. I repeat, you are going to be combining the fundamentals with the technicals. I hope you understand that, Mr. Michael Ahong. Please do not trade the news directly. Okay, then Stephen who just said, thank you, sir. That was refreshing. Okay, thank you too. Ile Mona said, hi, good morning. You're just joining us. That's a bit on the late side. You can always watch the replay on our YouTube channel. And I'm going to drop the YouTube channel again. I'm going to quickly drop the YouTube channel again for everybody. So the YouTube channel is here. That's youtube.com/@10 Trade Africa TV. Join us, guys. Watch the replay there and all. Okay, very key, very important. So now, please, if you have any question, feel free to ask. I'm going to quickly breeze through a few more instruments here that are of interest. Let's also clean up all of this. We're going to cross over to a few more instruments that are here, and then, of course, try to see a thing or two. One thing we always say is that you can be a counter trend trader or you can be a trend trader. Counter trend trader is a trader that is trading against the regular normal trend. Meaning that if the trend is up, you see that the market is pushing higher and higher, right? As it's pushing higher and higher in this manner, you're pushing higher and higher. You want to what? You want to go against it to try to sell it. No, that is going against the market. It is counter trend trading. But when it goes to trading with the trend, as you can see, you now look for an area where the price comes back and then it pushes higher with you on entry somewhere here, right? It's always good to define the type of trader that you are. I repeat, it's always good for you to define the type of trader that you are. But this one here, I mentioned that on purpose because of what I saw on this USD JPY. On this USD JPY, we have something here, we have resistance, we have support. You can see you have some little areas here. That means that we'll be expecting the price to get back to this area here of resistance, and you get an entry, and then it takes you down, right? So this is something to be mindful of as well. Solomon Musa said the recording for yesterday is yet to be posted. Is it yet to be posted? I'll confirm that. I'll confirm that, Mr. Solomon Musa. Let me also, did you just check now? I'll confirm that, because I know they normally post it in good time. I'll confirm that, and then hopefully we can chit chat about it in the Telegram group. I hope you guys have joined the Telegram group now. I hope everybody must have joined the Telegram group, as a lot of information will be passed there. Let me try and look for the link again of the Telegram group. Now you can see for the Telegram group, when we drop the link, only one person joined. So we're going to obviously do that again, and hopefully more people join the Telegram group so we can continue from there. One thing I always say is that in the Telegram group, right, in the Telegram group, we do a form of continuation apart from what we're discussing over here, right? Where in the Telegram group, we do updates. We do updates based on this analysis here. So when we do an analysis, we then do an update to find out what happened. Did it actually give us the opportunities that we did analysis on? Did we make some pips? Did we make some money? We'll do that together. So let me quickly drop this now. Here is the Telegram group. So I just dropped the Telegram group over there. So guys, you can join us on the Telegram, where we'll continue to update you the more. So this one here that we have in front of us, this is what I will most likely like to see here. A price pull back to this area of resistance, you sell, and then it takes you back down, right? So this is something to be watching. This is the USD/JPY. It's also known as one of the major currency pairs. And then we have other instruments from other sections, like apart from Forex. We've been talking Forex a lot. We have the likes of Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin over here. We have the likes of Bitcoin. We have the likes of Amazon, Google, Facebook, and other instruments that you can trade, right? Especially under the roof of Tentrade. So look at what we have over here. So far, so good. This is the Bitcoin, and you can see the trend, right? Is always something to be mindful of. The trend is a downtrend, as you can see. In this downtrend, right, you can see some bunch of support over here, resistance, and then here it's coming back to now act. Look at what's happening here. It's coming back here to now act as what? To more or less act as support. Look at it very well. It's coming back to more or less act as support over here. So that means that from here, let me tell you guys what ideally we should be looking out for. Ideally, what should we be looking out for? We're looking out for price action candlestick over here for us to use to buy, and then take it higher up to this point, right? And this would be a good area to look for sell positions, as we had this as a support in the past, and then it is yet to be tested as what? It is yet to be tested as resistance. It is yet to be tested as resistance. So please pay attention to what's happening here. If you have that candlestick pattern, right, that we showed you, any of them, right, do this, test it, place your trade, and then see how it goes from this point here, whether it gets to this area here, right? So conducting your analysis on a regular basis, one thing I also want to state is that depending on the time frame that you are looking at, everything we've talked about today works on every time frame. I repeat, everything we talked about today works on every time frame, right? Because you could use the same strategy, because the same strategy can be used on the lower to the medium to the higher time frames, whether you're a scalper, intraday, or a swing or position trader, either of those four, right? So always stick to one strategy, and the strategy that you always see us use, right, is majorly support and resistance, right? And that's what we can see here nicely. I'm going to quickly switch over, please. Because of time as well, if you guys have any instruments you want us to quickly look at, please drop it in the comment section, right? If you have any instrument that you want us to look at, kindly drop it in the comment section, and let's see what we can do for you. This is EuroCAD. Look at EuroCAD here, right? Remember yesterday we talked about the EuroCAD, I believe. And you can see what's happening here is getting closer to this point here. This was support here. At this point here, this should now be what? It should now be resistance. Now, once the price gets there, look for the confirmation based on your trigger, pull the trigger, and then watch the price go down, right? So this is what we're going to be doing, right, on this arrow card later today. Hopefully today it gets to this area of resistance. And you can as well do all of this on a demo account if you're not comfortable on your live, right? And that's why, like the person that said wants to trade the news, please, you need to test that a lot, right? You need to do your back test a lot. Make sure you are comfortable with that, right? Okay, so I think I have some comments coming in. So we just said, Star, I couldn't find the BTC USD on the MT5. Look for BTC USD. This will be on the list. And if you can't see it on the list, are you using your phone or are you using your laptop? If it's the laptop desktop, over here, just simply right click. I repeat, just simply right click and then go over to, where is it? Sorry, just a second. Okay, no, not symbols. Let me do that again. There's a place you can go to more or less add. Aha, this is it here. Once you click here for add, it now brings up all the what? All the instruments. So if you're looking for, you can see cryptocurrency here, right? For the person that said they cannot find BTC USD, you click on cryptocurrency and then it takes you to the area, right, where there's the cryptos over here. Let's do that again. Right click, go to set, add, and then add the cryptocurrency. It will now add all of them. We're not seeing it because we've already added the cryptos, and then by the time we scroll down, you'll be able to see all the cryptos over here. Where are they? Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, and Dash, and you have a lot of them as well, Ethereum and the rest. So the Bitcoin we're looking for, you see it as BTC USD. This is it here. I already moved mine higher. Right, you see it as BTC USD. Let us know if you have been able to find it, Mr. Stephen Ojo. Okay, Linda said gold. Okay, great. Let's look at gold. Funny enough, gold is on the list of what I'm watching because I'll also trade the major currency pairs and gold. So I click on XAUUSD here, which is gold. Right, so as we click on gold here, this is what we have. It says somebody keeps on switching on the video. Okay. Someone kept on switching on video. Please, you don't need your video. I'm also using my video as well. Okay, for this is gold. Let me quickly explain gold. First thing that jumps at me on this gold time frame, which is 1 hour, is very good. And in the middle, the market has been going down more or less. It has been going down. This place here was a form of support, but then look at what happened. Acted as support a bit. But this whole area, let me map this whole area. This whole area now became a mess here, right? As you can see, the market started to go sideways on this area of support, right? As it's going sideways on this area, right? Don't forget we said the trend is down. You could either be doing something. You could either easily be waiting for the price to do what? To push higher to this point here for you to look for a sell, right? And then take it back down. Now, let's also talk about something here. Now, if you look at what's happening here in this area, let me also remove this one. You look at what's happening in this area over here, you'll notice something. You notice that we also have this here that acted as support. Sorry, my hand is not that straight. As you can see, that's acted as support. That means that the price here might as well want to come back here and then maybe even break out, retest, and then you get your entry to go down. Right? This is gold. And this is live now as we speak. Let me clean the charts again. This is live as we speak. And we have another level here, right? I'm just going to draw the level here. We have another level here at this lower point here. And then, of course, if you're going to do some tracing, you're going to do some analysis, you notice that this area here, where it is more or less this area here, right? You can see, so it's more or less at the area of resistance. But I would not advise taking this trade because if you enter this trade from this point, to this point here, because this will be your take profit, the lows over here will be your take profit. It is rather very, very small, right? Your entry is here, stop loss is here. Your entry, stop loss, you can see it's more or less the same thing that you'll be getting at the end of the day, right? So for this gold, what you are going to do, what I'm going to do, is either I wait for price to get to this point here that's acted as support or yet to be acted as resistance. Either I wait and get this and then the price, does this thing and goes down based on the bearish engulfing, the bearish pin bar, the bearish hammer that we get at this area of interest, right? So based on this here, you can use this one to enter the market to sell here, or if the price should go down back to the lows of this area here, back to the lows of this area here, and does not back to the lows and breaks out, what we should be looking out for is the retest of this area, the pullback to this area, and for us to look for further sell positions. One thing I'll tell you is that you don't need too many trades. All you have to do is to wait for the trades, the ideal ones that fit your criteria, right? Okay, I have one or two other comments here. I'm going to read them up now as well. Let me see. Okay, Mr. Stephen just said he's using his phone. So I'm going to come back to the questions above. As using your phone, you can't see me, but I'm going over to my own device now to look at the mobile device. And I think to add, I'm not sure whether it is iPhone or Android you are using, but whatever the case might be, for you to add, let me see. Okay, for you to add, you find that under the quotes, you find where quotes is, quotes. So from that quotes area, right, you can add more instruments from there. You're using Android. Okay, it will be the same thing more or less. It might just be arranged slightly different. So check very well. You might have the aspect, right, under quotes, and you'll probably see a plus sign. Click on the plus sign and you should be able to see cryptocurrency. Let us know if you were able to do that. Okay, then we have a question or two. Sabino just said, okay, now I've read that, so I couldn't find BTUSD. Then Obichuku Victor Ali, I believe you must have come in a bit late. He said, please sir, explain Doji candlestick pattern. It's not Doji as you said, it is known as Doji, D-O-J-I. It's known as Doji, right? So you can correct that yourself much later. So Doji candlestick pattern. This is how the Doji is, right? I'm going to explain this easily. This is how the Doji is, just like this, right? So this is the candlestick pattern. You can see all the candles over here. They have different shapes. They have different, they come in different shapes and sizes, basically giving you different interpretation. And this one over here, it simply tells you that the battle, because it is a constant battle between the buyers and the sellers. It now tells that based on this here, you can see that this looks like a cross, exactly like a cross. This tells us that the battle between the buyers and the sellers is more or less neutral. So that means that when you find this candle anywhere, it doesn't mean you're going to be using this candle to enter the market to buy or to sell. It simply shows that the buyers and the sellers, they cancel themselves out during this period. And then the market is what? Exactly. Okay, I hope you understand that, Mr. Obichuku. This is the Doji candlestick pattern. It means neutral, right? You are not to buy, you are not to sell, most times based on this candlestick pattern. Let me know if that's okay for you. For the rest of us, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Don't forget, what we're talking about here is the live market analysis, live trading opportunities that we can use to make pips today or even this week. Don't forget also, we mentioned something by 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. Remember we said always check the calendar for the upcoming news, right? That could easily cause volatility, high volatility in the market. And we've done that earlier by checking the first factory. And then we notice that we have the CPI, the Consumer Price Index for the USD by 2:30 p.m., which happens to be about 4.5 hours from now. So 4.5 hours from now, trust me, traders are already aware of the news. they tend to sit on their hands, meaning that they tend to stay away from the market around that period, right? As I said earlier, there are a lot of instruments on the radar. We've talked about a lot of them today and even yesterday, and then we have some more as well, but we won't be able to talk about all of them. And also some of them are also spring forth, just like how will I put it? Now, let me explain it this way. Just like it is not yet ripe. Let me put it this way. It is not yet ripe, but then will get ripe later. Once it gets ripe later, we will post it up on the Telegram group. We'll drop enough charts on the Telegram group. And it is now for you to ensure that you are connected to the Telegram group and then you take advantage. Ensure to ask questions as well. And then in good time, we'll reply you. Don't forget, we have another Telegram group that I mentioned, which is strictly for all the market analysis, live market analysis, and also signals. We drop signals there that would help you to become a better trader. Because what we'll be doing, we'll be putting up charts as well that you look at. I repeat, you look at, and then it will help you to know the reason why we pick this area for entry, the reason why we pick this area for exit, the reason why we put this area for exit based on stop loss and take profit, because exit is for stop loss and take profit. And by the time you observe all of these things, it's going to help you to trade better. You'll see your growth exponentially, right? And of course, that's why we're all here. We're all here because we want to make money. So for the live trading analysis, charts and all, and the signals especially, for you to join that Telegram group, you need to have funded your account with a minimum of $100 for you to join that group. So you are funding your account with $100 in order to trade that money, and then you get a bonus of the Telegram group that is for signals, more or less, trading, live trading analysis sessions and all. And then don't forget, we also mentioned that we have a one-on-one that you can take advantage of. All you have to do is to fund your account with a minimum of $500, right? So we'll keep on reminding people, as some people said they're already interested in it. I can see, I think 1 or 2 people are here that they said they would like to also partake in that. I believe Mr. Zacchaeus said that earlier, right? But also, if I were to ask you, when do you want to make money? Right? I know that might be a question that you might be like, oh, Mr. Tolu, what kind of question is that? When do you want to make money? Of course, the answer is now. So as you want to make money now, right? And of course, we're not talking about demo money. We're talking about real money. As you want to make real money now, that means that you need to fund your account now and start trading in order to take advantage of the market behavior, the market structure and all. Remember we said something not too long ago. I can't remember who asked the question, something about trading the news, and then I said you don't trade the news direct. Okay, I just scrolled up. It was Michael Ahong. Mr. Michael Ahong asked earlier, and I can see Mr. Michael Ahong is still here with us. He asked earlier, where is it? Please, can you help me with how to trade the news? And then we said you don't trade the news directly, right? But rather you combine it with the technicals, and then it's going to act as a catalyst for movement, right? It's going to move in a very volatile manner, right? So don't try to trade the news directly, right? Wait for the news to align with your technicals being your support and your resistance areas. Now I switch to this Euro USD just to show you something maybe based on the news, right? Because remember we said we need to combine. Remember we said earlier that this is an area of support and resistance. You can also call this resistance, even though it didn't quite get there. Now look at where the market is over here. Let's assume the market still remains in the middle of this area here. Let me do some markings as well. In the middle of this area here, which is supposed to act as resistance and then act as support, right? You'll notice something, that it might be that news. I repeat, it might be that news that is coming out to CPI by 230 that might make that candle, that pressure candle, to push higher. And meanwhile, the news is telling you that for the dollar, it is good for the dollar. So if it is good for the dollar, it means that this Euro USD, right? It means that this Euro USD is going to be what? It's going to be a sell, and then you are supposed to be selling at this point, right? But when you say is good for the dollar, is meant to be a sell. So people start to sell over here. No, you're going to wait for that area. That means that you're combining these technicals with the fundamentals. Very key, very, very important. Now, there are things that we have mentioned, the terms that we have mentioned in our live market analysis session, our live trading session for today, where we mentioned the likes of support and resistance. We mentioned price action and a whole lot of other things. If you are new to trading and you are here, right, or you have been struggling, you don't know what you were doing much earlier, right, then you can join the afternoon, evening session later today for the beginners workshop that will be conducted by Mr. Toby Okunuga, and get to learn all of these things that will bring you up to speed much, much faster. Trading doesn't have to be difficult. Trading can be easy and straightforward. One thing I can tell you for sure is that trading is boring. Yes, trading is boring. You might have heard that before. So this is what we want. This is what we want to advise you. Try to join us on the Telegram groups. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. I believe I can see a few people have already joined not too long ago as we dropped the link. Apart from Mr. Victor that joined earlier today. I think that's Mr. Victor Elisha, I'm not sure. Then we had Casey. Casey, is, I believe, is still with us here. We had Casey that joined. We had Tolu that joined as well. I think there's a Tolu here that joined. And then we have somebody with FX family, right? You might be here as well. You should know yourself. Also join. More join, please. More of us should join. Let everybody join. Don't forget, share the links, all the links that we mentioned earlier. I'm going to do my possible best to quickly do a copy and paste and send the links again to everybody. And that has to do with the Instagram link, right? The Facebook link, that is the Facebook Telegram. Sorry, I said Facebook Telegram. Facebook 10 Trade, the 10 Trade Instagram handle, the 10 Trade Facebook handle, and the Twitter 10 Trade handle as well. And then also we have the YouTube, right? Don't forget YouTube as well, very key, where the recording of this video of today's session will be uploaded as well. And somebody said yesterday's one was not uploaded. I'm going to double check that and then we'll get back to you on that. I'm going to double check that and get back to you. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We'll try as much as possible to start posting the charts that we've talked about today. Start posting them on the groups, especially the Signal group, right? So when we drop it on Signal group, make sure you are there. Simply just fund your account with a minimum of $100 and then join us there, where we'll be revealing more and more to you on a daily basis. Another thing we're going to do that I believe I mentioned at the very beginning is that apart from the analysis, we're also going to be doing updates. We're going to be doing updates as well. Thank you. I can see more people are joining that Telegram group as well. Mr. Basayo, you are here. Thank you for joining. Just joined, and somebody else using the name of Trump just joined as well. So thank you guys for joining. Any other question, feel free to ask, and let's see how we can help you out. Okay, I can see somebody's asking, Michael Ahong is asking, please briefly talk on GBP CHF current market. I'm on it already and I'm buying. Okay, now I would really like to, you can see Obichuku said Trump, that's me, because I was already about to laugh at who is Trump, who is calling himself Trump. So we can see that Trump is Obichuku Victory Ali. Thank you for joining. Don't forget, share all of this information with your friends, even with family, even with your enemies. Share it with everybody, the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the YouTube handle, and also for tomorrow's live market session, for tomorrow's live trading session, please also post up this information. You can even post it up now, post it up on your WhatsApp status, which lasts for 24 hours, right? So that we can have more people join us, right? Don't forget, for other things, for the $100, you get the Instagram access, you get the Telegram access for the signals and live market analysis, charts and all that will help you to place trades the proper way. Please also note as a disclaimer, trading the financial market carries a high level of risk. you can make a lot of money and you can also lose a lot of money as well. It is very, very key that you protect your accounts accordingly by using the proper lot size, by using proper volume. And once again, listen carefully, everybody. I'm going to slow down and say this, right? We're going to be rounding up shortly. I'm going to still attend to Michael Ahong that asked for GPP CHF. We're going to look at that now. Please, as a disclaimer, right, minimize your losses and maximize your take profit. Very key. Protect your account accordingly. That has to do with risk management. And as I said earlier, if you do not understand how to calculate your risk, how to calculate for your volume, your lot size, kindly join us later today for the beginners workshop that will be conducted by Mr. Toby Okunuga, right? That will be explained to you a lot more, the likes of support, resistance, how to look at charts, how to place trades, how to read the news, and a whole lot of other things would also will be explained to you during Mr. Toby's session. So guys, ensure you are there. Okay, now looking at Michael Ahong's zone, let's quickly do that. We're going to maintain this same chart of Euro USD. So first of all, let me clean this chart up. And then for pounds CHF, pound CHF, let me look at it. Okay, this is pound CHF here. I'll click on it and drag it in. Okay, now it has loaded. Beautiful. Why am I saying beautiful? Let me ask you guys a question. I just looked at this pound CHF now and I said beautiful. Who has an idea why I'm saying beautiful? Right? Let me just to pick your brains, guys. Right? And this is what we normally do in the signal section when you find a minimum of $100. We normally post up charts for you to be able to look at and then to understand and of course take advantage, because you are a trader that wants to make money. We are also traders, right? If we were not, or we are not traders, we will not be able to explain all of these things to you based on it being live, right? So being live, we are analyzing. You can't fake this. You can't fake this anywhere. It's either you know it or you don't. Now, we have somebody that is trying to answer the reason why I was saying beautiful, and that's Mr. Zacchaeus, and he said it's at a resistance level. I'll explain this part, that part that you just mentioned is at a resistance level. But what I was expecting from you guys to say is that the trend is a nice downtrend here. And also, I wanted to mention this as I switched to GPP CHF. I wanted to mention that as Mr. Michael Ahong said that he's in it and he's buying, I wanted to ask him for the time frame, because the time frame will give us a rough idea of the type of trader that he is, whether he's a swing trader, whether he's a scalper or an intraday or whatever the case might be. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just quickly put in my levels here, right? Don't forget, join us for later today with Mr. Toby Beginners Workshop. So as I'm doing this here, you can see I'm doing it quickly. I'm doing very, very quick, very, very fast, just to pick out the areas. And then I'm going to do something now. I'm going to start to explain them because of time, right? I'll just focus on the area of interest where the price is currently. And you can see I did something first of all. I first of all use only horizontal lines. You can also use rectangles because rectangles covers a wider area. And that's why we normally say it is an area. I repeat, it is an area or level or zone. So I'm using this rectangle here to pick out this area here. I'm picking out this area here and I'm going to show you exactly what I can see. This is GBP CHF, but you guys are seeing it firsthand together, right? So we have here support. You can see it's a bit messy, but still acted as support. Came here again, support. Came here, resistance. Now that this has acted as resistance, this is now more or less a flip zone. Flip zone is an area that has acted as support and resistance in the past. Now, then look at what we have over here. You can see price now seems to be acting as support because it is at this side of the level, the area, the zone. If it was much lower, then it would be acting as a form of resistance. So don't be surprised if the market should push higher to this area here. Push higher to this area here, simply because we have this here. As you can see, we had a form of support and resistance here. So this would clearly be a good area. Let me also map this using like the rectangle as well. I'm going to use it. You can see the rectangle, I can make it as wide as I want, right? But we'll just always try to be reasonable with it. Don't make it too wide. So this is an area here. If you look very well, it has marked this area. So maybe Mr. Michael Ahoy can quickly give us more information on his buying, where he's buying from, why he's buying, and then we'll try to resonate with that. But if you are buying from here, it's good. Or if you bought from here, it's also good. If you look at this one here, this is even very nice. It's nice because if you look at this candle where I'm pointing the arrow at, this looks like what? This looks more or less like a pin bar. Look at it very well. A pin bar, also known as a hammer. So this is a bullish hammer, bullish pin, as you can see. And we got this at this area here of support, resistance. You can see that's also acted as a flip zone. So if it's here that you enter to buy, that is good. If it's here, we don't really have a candle formation here. This one here is similar to this pin bar here, but I really love for it to be much bigger, because the bigger those candles are, it shows more dominance. It means that more or less it's going to move in that direction. But then that is the final piece for you to pull the trigger. That is the price action candle, whether it's the pin bars or hammers or engulfings or whatever, right? But we look majorly at the area. The area of interest is very, very key. Let me scroll down now and read the many comments I have. Okay, Michael Ahong said 4 hours. Okay, we've already looked at this based on 1 hour. So I can quickly switch to 4 hours now. Then Mr. Obi Chuku Victory Ali, that is our Trump, said, so how do you identify a bullish hammer? A bullish hammer. Okay, I think you must have come a bit late. I remember we switched to the slides and then we showed you that. So I'm going to switch over to the slides. You might not be able to draw it, but what you do is to take a screenshot, right? I'm going to clean up this chart first of all. I want to clean up everything that we have here because Mr. Michael Ahoy said 4 hours. So we'll click on 4 hours and this is what we have over here. 4 hours, this 4 hours is looking a bit dirty, but from my eyes, from my trader's eyes, I can see something around here, right? And you can see the good thing about this live market analysis session that we're having, we are showing you, right, firsthand how to pick out these areas, how to identify support and resistance and all, right? So you can see what we're doing here. Sorry, let me adjust this properly. And that's why I said this is looking a bit messy, but at the same time, we should be able to see these levels. Look at what I was able to do. Support, support, resistance, 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 support. I can see that I was able to do this within seconds of switching over to 4 hours time frame for this GBP CHF. You have support, support, some resistance here, support, resistance, support, resistance, and you can see it's making a mess in this area. It's beginning to disrespect this area a lot. So I'm not even a big fan of this area that we have drawn. I think somebody said it's a resistance. Yes, you are right on this time frame, it's a resistance. But this whole area, let me box it. Let me just box from here. This whole area, it's looking rather messy. Messy in the sense that it's no more clean, it's no more smooth, right? No more clean, no more smooth. Besides, what I would really like to do on this chart, let me clean up this chart. What I would really like to do on this chart is for the price to get to this area here, and I get my entry to sell, and then hopefully take it back down. But that is just me. The market could always have its own plan at the end of the day. So we don't try to, how will I put it? We don't try to force anything out of the market. We allow the market to do what it wants to do, and then we would, follow suit. That's why, if you remember earlier, we talked about action trader. You are trying to preempt the move, and then we also looked at reaction trader. Reaction trader, you are waiting for the move to occur, let the market do its thing, let price move, then you react accordingly, right? Okay, how do you identify the bullish hammer? Okay, let me switch over to that, and after that, we're going to round it up. I wish we could continue and continue and continue to give you more and more information, but we're going to have to round it up after this. Don't forget, please join us on the Telegram groups. That's very important. And fund minimum of 100 to join the Signal section, and then fund $500 to join us for one-on-one. You have a one-on-one 30-minute session with myself, where we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. We help to structure the market based on the processes like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on that you need to follow, which you can easily write down and then have like a handbook, which is a plan. We're going to be talking about a plan too. So Mr. Obichukwu, that's our Mr. Trump. Please do a screenshot of this as we're going to be rounding up now. We try as much as possible not to make the recordings way too lengthy, right? I'm going to stop the recording right now.